In September 2021, Guinea's then President Alpha Condé was captured by the country's armed forces in a coup, with a special forces commander taking his place as an interim president. Mamady Doumbouya promised to respect the West African state's international commitments while transitioning to civilian rule. However, various political parties and civil society groups, the opposition group known as the Forces Vives, grew tired of waiting and started planning a series of protests and rallies to demand elections. In his New Year address, Doumbouya said the country will hold presidential, legislative, and local councils elections before the end of this year, but analysts are skeptical.
Mamady Doumbouya's speech is a political strategy because there are demonstrations coming up. This speech is a way to put pressure on the political parties. Now, whether the political parties will cancel their marches or continue will depend on the understanding of the president's speech. For me, what is necessary is to demand a framework for an open dialogue with formal guarantees from international institutions and public opinion in order to establish an additional timetable based on the real content of the progress of the transition. It is at the end of this analysis that we should know whether or not to call off the strike.
Despite the skepticism in some circles, the president's announcement has been well received by many in the nation's capital, Conakry.
General Doumbouya is a man of his words. He is a pragmatic man. He has demonstrated this through several projects, such as the huge Simandou iron ore deposit, the port, the railway, and many others. I have no doubt that he will have no problem with other promises because he is a man of his word.
The president has done things that many leaders have not done. He's a good president. Increasing the salaries of civil servants will go a long way in improving the situation of workers in Guinea. As for the end of the transition, I am sure he will succeed because he has taken concrete actions.
Despite not setting any specific dates for the elections, Doumbouya said the process will begin in the first quarter of 2025. He added that several key milestones will be met before the vote, including the adoption of a new constitution through a referendum. Muturi Kaibere, CGTN.